Hello, chat. There's a mark on my face. Oh, wait, that's probably on my screen. Never mind.
It
It
does
is on your
appear to
screen,
be
don't
on
worry.
your screen.
Got to do something, because this is the thing that I like. Okay. My weird brain is satiated for now. Okay, so hi, chat. We're back for another week. We took last week off because, I needed to escape one state for another for a few days, as I have not escaped my apartment for more than a few hours at a time in 16 months. And my apartment is 400 square feet.
Oof.
Yay, New York.
It's a hell of a town.
It's a lot more fun when we can actually go outside and not be afraid of germs. Hi, Arcana Sage. Yeah, Escape from New York Part 2.
Not be afraid of germs. In New York?
I don't get it, but I assume it's funny. Okay,
No. I was just making fun of New York.
Oh.
Sound seems good to me, so.
Good. Awesome. You can hear everyone?
Mm-hmm.
This is why... So chat, feel free to tell us if the audio is borked, because it's me, and I've usually borked the audio.
I do tend to just listen to the first few minutes to see if everyone other than Chris is audible, and then I mute it so that I don't go insane.
Yeah.
There is that.
Yeah. Alright, so yes, I am the GM. This is Exit to Eden, Worlds of Darkness in Space, where it's a far-flung future of the new World of Darkness, where humanity has colonized the stars, and the Supernats went with them. Although for the first 2,700 years of the colonization process, humanity didn't notice. And then all of the veils fell at once, and all the Supernats were out. And this is a future society where homophobia, transphobia, skin tone racism, those are all gone. But they have unfortunately doubled down on classism, and the new people to hate are... Speciesism. Is hatred of Supernats is the big one. So, yeah. So it's rough. And our players our player characters are all part of an underground railroad, which usually is situated in Eden System, which was founded by Space Vikings. They have recently, at least temporarily, relocated to Limos System, which was founded by Space Argonauts. Okay, thank you, mods. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Thank you, mods. Anyway.
4 bots all at once. It's fine. They're gone now.
4 bots? Wow, we must be moving up in the world.
Either somebody got bored.
I have defanged the Nightbot, so at least that will stop harassing our own viewers. For how dare you use so many emotes? I'm like, really? Anyway. So yes, our characters are part of an underground railroad that gets Supernats and other people out of the core systems where Supernats are most hated and despised and put upon, into more friendly systems, either in the Expanse, which is the next layer out from the core, or the Verge, which is basically the edge of known space. And Limos is very, very different from Eden, even beyond just being founded by space Greeks. Or space Argonauts. The Argonauts were... It's Greek mythology, but it's hard to tell, like, who is actually Greek in Greek mythology.
Most of the Argonauts themselves were Greek.
Okay.
Not everywhere they went was in Greece, though. I could go on a whole tangent about it, but I will not.
That's why I ask. It's like, did I say that vaguely correct?
The classics major.
Yes. Woohoo! So while I calculate all of the pre-existing boosts pool, Dracus, who are you playing today in this motley band?
Dracus, I'm playing Klaus, the resident asshole mage / medic, and I'm parading around this place as Petruchio's personal doctor, so emphasis on the medic bit. There's no magic here. Not at all.
Yep. Never mind the medic for a dead man.
Yeah.
Well, dead person.
Dead person, right.
Petruchio is rather gender fluid.
Fair. This is true.
Next!
Are we going clockwise or counter?
It goes by whoever says something next.
Well, I guess I said something next.
Yay.
Well, I'm back. I normally play Dune, the Wolfblood, but this evening I'll be playing Derek Prosser, the definitely not a Wolfblood. Came to the system, I believe, as hired muscle for my employer, and spent the first couple of days on shore, drunk as a skunk, because prison gates, and I do not agree. You're it, bud.
Next!
Yeah, see, I told you I couldn't do that accent. I'm playing Masterson, who is an Inspector General for the Imperial Bureaucracy, and I'm here doing an inspection tour of this planet to see if it's ready to comply with the Imperial law before it gets moved along in the process of becoming an Imperial core world.
Yes,
This might be a lie.
Just maybe. Just a little.
yeah, I apologize in advance, chat, if I keep calling our characters lots of different names, because now there are aliases on top of aliases, and I just can't right now. But we'll see how it goes.
In typical fashion, Petruchio still has the most.
Hashtag
This is
hacker
how it
life.
should be.
When you're Nate and Hardison all at once. Alright. PCs, you currently have a pool of 12 +1s. Please, announce you're using them before you roll. I, as a GM, have 21.
Oof.
Thank you, chat. So, chat, getting to boosts, there will be links in chat about how you can donate monies, which we then donate to charity, or then give to charity, to buy player and GM boosts. However, we also use channel points, and I'm not sure if I updated the channel points game. No, I did not.
Clarification. We can only use 1 +1 boost per roll. Or we can use multiple.
Generally, I say 1 +1 per roll.
Just making sure.
There will be times, especially towards the end of game, where I'm like, yeah, smoke them if you got them. But always assume the default is 1 per roll, and I can't change. Okay, so assume that demon dice are GM +1s, and faith dice are player +1s, because I didn't update that thing again. Woohoo! Yay!
C'est la vie.
Which is especially annoying me because, didn't we play this the last time we convened because we skipped a week? Yeah, so that's 2 weeks in a row. Good job, me.
I mean, it's not in a row. We didn't play last week.
So yes, this week our charity on deck is still the Ochre Project, which, is kind of a Meals on Wheels, for, trans BIPOC folk. It's very, yes, this is very cool, very cool. And just because it's not Pride Month anymore doesn't mean these nice people have stopped existing. We're still here. Help. Help those who need help, please.
I think the joke is we have moved to Wrath Month.
Ah, yes. I have seen that.
It's the joke.
It's a joke. The actual fact is it's Disability Awareness Month, so...
That is true.
Yay! Well, yeah, yay disability awareness. Not yay that people have disabilities. Okay, so yeah, chat, it is 400 channel points for a player boost and 200 for a GM boost. Also, We will not be honoring Merc's next GM accent, although maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see if anyone buys it. 800 for a custom NPC drop, which works for any system. And 1,000 points, and you get to suggest a name for the Karve Tourism spaceship, which is still unnamed. And once I deem we have enough of those suggestions, the players will vote on them off screen, and then we will surprise you with who won. Hooray! And yes. And I believe that is everything. In monies, it's it's only $5 for a Game Master boost and 10 for a player boost. I like doing accents, but I do not enforce accents on players, because it's like, you know, everyone has
They're
different...
fun. I need to practice them a lot, and it just doesn't strike me that Klaus has an accent different than my native one, so...
Yeah, all players all come to the table with different strengths. And it's the whole, you know, another aspect of don't tell a fish to climb a tree. Fish is better at other things.
Well, leaning at my desk and then nodding because it takes my camera.
Alright, so let me bring up today's plot, which I wrote down in advance, I think. Let's see if it's still there. And my mouse doesn't want to
Oh
mouse.
shit.
Okay.
I should actually get some dice.
Yep. Alright, so it has been a couple days since last game happened. In-game. Out-of-game, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to recap what happened last game? I.e. the one person who was here.
I was so drunk I was in the cargo hold the entire time.
So, last time on Exit to Eden, our intrepid band of Underground Railroad freedom fighters made contact with their local affiliate here in the Ligway system. They have made contact. They have found that there are 5 or 6 major holdouts, one of whom is a vampire. There are 2 packs of werewolves that are basically fighting for control of the Undercity and basically making life complicated for anyone else. There are some mages who are sort of not really giving much of a care, and there's a lot of folks who have just been straight up disappeared. We don't know where they are, but we have someone who's working on that nefarious plot on their own, and we're trying to figure out what our next move is going to be. That particular operation was undertaken by Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and their good bodyguard, Duke.
I have no memory of this.
But you have pictures.
That was... Dune, you woke up after that, a few hours after all that happened, you woke up. I guess, did you take just clothing that Dune had packed, or did you take Dune's clothes off?
I took Dune's clothes.
Okay. So the latter. So yeah, Dune, you wake up in your undergarments with a jellycat on your chest. A jellycat is probably an invasive species to Eden system. It is somehow a crossbreed of a domestic feline, a jellyfish, and a slime mold.
Does it leave a trail?
Sometimes. It did.
Did it leave a trail on
It's not sticky. It's more like if it had been sweating. So it's not as bad as it could be, but it is kind of...
I didn't think I drank that much, but...
Jellycat is purring.
Jellycat usually
Good.
likes me.
Jellycat, I do appreciate the purring, however, I would appreciate more you getting off my chest so that I can go take a shower and find out at which bar I left my clothes this time.
And it just sort of oozes off your chest. Again, the slime mold, it seems to be holding its head in one place as the rest of its body kind of moves off it's not even undulating. It's like it's almost like a puddle of water where the surface is kind of leaving off of one place and then rolling up. It's almost like it's rolling as a flat puddle of ooze with a head on top. But it just sort of like...
I'll give it a scritch and go take a shower.
Your hands go through it a little bit, but it seems to enjoy the sensation.
So, I took a shower, put on some backup clothes, and tried to figure out where the hell I'd ended up.
Okay, Klaus, the episode before that, I believe, was Dune also... I forget if Dune was also there for the, No,
Dune
okay.
was out like a light.
Dune was out the whole time. Okay.
Dune was dead drunk from the moment we... From like 20 minutes before the Stygian Gates to basically now.
So, Klaus, you probably just stayed behind on the ship to also sleep off the 10-minute period between the Stygian Gate and the landing on planet, which for you was was over 24 hours, because an abyssal creature had attached itself to the hull of your ship and reached across the bulkhead/gauntlet to torture all of your brains for food.
Yeah. That wasn't fun.
So
I've just been kind of lounging around the ship, staying out of the way, and doing whatever anybody tells me needs doing, but that hasn't happened in the last couple days, so...
Klaus? I'm on my way over, I see Klaus in the lounge, stick my head in. Klaus, I must ask. Do you happen to know if I owe a tab at any particular local establishment? I seem to have had a good time. I do not remember.
About that. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't think you had a good time. I'm pretty sure Holiday just nabbed your clothes and paraded around town as you.
You are a buzzkill. And that offends me. As a changeling.
Sometimes it's my job to be a buzzkill.
On the one hand, at least, there's probably not a restaurant out... Well... There is probably not an arrest warrant out of my head, but on the other hand, he could have just used some of the spares from my pack.
That would have been the logical thing to do.
Then I wouldn't have had your phone.
I think
your
it's
ID.
probably less fun, though.
Your ID.
So...
I wouldn't have had your phone or your ID if I'd done that.
You didn't have a good time, but Holiday sure did. At your expense. Sorry.
He damn well used his own credits at least, and I head off to the shower.
Woohoo!
I had to pay for Sungrazer. He's a cheap date.
Klaus, you still have those negative modifiers. I believe you're down a health level as of from bashing, and your -1 penalty for all mental rolls, because there's an AI in your head called Min's Butt Space, which an actual army of hackers tried to dislodge and botched their roll. So now Min lives there and might.
There was four separate critical failures in that chain of events.
It was pretty remarkable, really.
And viewers, this all started as an NPC purchase. So sometimes they stick around because they satisfy the GM's twisted sense of humor. However, since then, the GM does get final editorial say on how go as weird as you want with the NPCs. I will try to make it fit, but I also have editorial final say, which is part of why Min's Butt Space might be kind of magic, but is also an AI. And Klaus went to several medical and magical practitioners at this point to try and get it out. And it's not leaving. Because
it's gotten to the point where I was almost disappointed that he was gone when our brains were being eaten.
It's like, it's too quiet up here. Something is wrong.
It wasn't disappointment so much as deep concern because something was wrong. Anyway.
Yes, since,
You filled that concern with brightly colored drinks, as I recall.
Yeah.
Like all of the colors of the rainbow.
I really liked the blue ones, okay? They were so good.
It's much easier to remember colors than substances for me. Woohoo! Yes.
The green one.
So yes, you were back to. It's been a few days. So Masterson, do you return to the ship after hanging out at the bar with those folks?
Yes, and I will make sure that they get back so that they don't get accosted along the way.
Yes. So Masterson has returned.
Dune is finds it standing at the top of the ramp, arms crossed, foot tapping, in his backup clothing, no jacket because he only brought one of those.
Dune.
Does Masterson still look like Dune? Like
yes.
The mini mask? Yeah. So Dune, you show up at the ship with Petruchio and Sungrazer, who I guess go somewhere else to work on things.
I suppose it's a little bit better than you just stealing my clothing outright, but I would appreciate my wallet, phone, and trench coat back.
I left all your guns.
I didn't notice.
Oh.
Character, I didn't actually bring that many guns. Trench coat space only goes that far.
Yeah, but you did bring guns.
Yeah.
It's like a super federal felony on this planet. Like, you will go to jail forever felony on this planet if you have a gun.
I brought them disassembled, so you wouldn't have got them anyway. But yes,
they still exist.
Yes, they still exist. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Trench coat. This thing looks like it's 30 pounds lighter when I'm wearing it.
Because it's not full of guns.
Dune puts it on and immediately looks 30 pounds heavy. The coat looks 30 pounds heavier when Dune does it. Something in the way he swings it around.
Swing it like a wolf blood!
Oh, there are some werewolves who would like to have a conversation with you.
Did you go to the local PAX wearing my face and speak to them?
No, that's why they would like to have a conversation with you, because you're an actual wolf blood, and I am a nefarious trickster. Exit stage right.
Says Jellycat as it oozes up between the two of you and just is looking back and forth a little confused.
No, Jellycat will catch the heat radius off of me.
Yeah, it takes a minute for Jellycat to register. Also, maybe you smell different. You're not sure. You're not a Jellycat.
Yeah, and Jellycat usually bites me, but not everyone else. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, it was trying to alert you to danger, that there was an abyssal monster on the hull of the ship.
Use your words next time, Jellycat.
Translating, I did use my words.
Yeah.
I then had to use action.
Yeah. Exit stage right back to my quarters to change.
This could go poorly, and I'll head back inside the ship.
Okay. So, what happened at the bar was y'all talked to, Maya, who was the bartender and, I guess, de facto owner of the bar Scylla, which is kind of the last point of contact for Supernats in this entire, on this entire city planet. Lima, you were on...
Lagoy, I believe.
Lagoy, yes.
Lagoy.
Limos is a system. Limos is a system. Lagoy is the main habitated planet, which was M-class, and now it's just entirely covered in city.
Now it's C-class, 4 city.
Yoo-hoo! Most of the Supernats have migrated to another planet in the system called Dysnomia, which is more or less Mars, but yellow. And barely breathable atmosphere, shipyards, not a lot of habitation, but they're currently working on that. Although people are not convinced that the Supernats are really safe there, because it's not just Logoi that wants to join the Corps, it's the government of Limos system. So, but for now you are testing out what's still happening here on Logoi. And you made contact with a changeling woman and another dude who you didn't actually see sitting there until Maya pointed him out, and then suddenly you could, and you're like, huh? All you could tell for sure was that he wasn't a changeling and he wasn't a vampire. Since, you know, you had those with you.
I diagnose mage bullshit.
I put him in one of your two categories of things. Sungrazer and I were fairly certain he was not a houseplant.
Mildly certain he wasn't a houseplant. But this is the Expanse, and technology is weird, and people do things with genetic manipulation that they shouldn't, hence the existence of jelly cats.
Well, no, we mean the Acanthus family of magi. When we say houseplant, that's a running joke between Sungrazer and I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, when we say houseplant, that's what we mean.
Maybe.
We don't know. We're changelings and bad at this.
I forget if you asked directly, but he certainly didn't answer.
No, I don't think any of us asked directly.
So. But there are even some vanilla humans who learn magic, but...
Trying to figure you out by vibe, and then our vibes were incompatible. That's it.
Incompatible vibage. He did somewhat resemble David Bowie as the in a white skirt suit.
Goblin King David Bowie?
No, there's a version of David Bowie known as the Thin White Duke.
Yes, there is.
That's basically who you were talking to, only a bit older and more tired and stressed out and just kind of annoyed at everything. He was not unpleasant to speak to, however.
No.
It's just clearly he is having a bad time on Logoi system trying to get Supernats to leave. And both he and Maya were sort of on the like, we don't want to stay here, but we don't want to leave anyone behind if they don't want to be left behind. Anyway, a few days go by.
And we have promised some seats on the boat when we leave.
Yes.
They're definitely on the ship when we leave.
They are definitely on board for leaving. Yeah. But for whatever reason, Maya is staying mostly because Scylla is sort of the last...
harbor.
The last point of contact for Supernats on the planet. And most of them are in this very, very bad neighborhood of Ponos. Which is basically the worst of the worst neighborhoods. And when y'all told the Space Marines and local law enforcement, hey, there was an abyssal entity stuck to our hull, can you check that it's gone before we land, before we park? The Marines, or the people in Space Marine suits or the cops version of Space Marines, kind of looked at the hull of your ship, waved, and ran away. They're like, even the cops don't want to be here. Which also means you haven't run into any of those Supernat detectors that you heard so much about. But yeah, so what do y'all work on for the next 48 hours?
I'm gonna do my best to determine the boundaries of the territories of the packs below before I try anything to do anything for them. Or to contact them.
Okay, how do you do that?
I'm probably just gonna walk around and see if I can see the signs, smell the smells, that kind of thing. Not being obvious about it, but...
Alright,
I am not attuned enough to any kind of Hisil stuff to even try messing with the gauntlet, so it's whatever's physically available to see. That's what I'm gonna try and use to determine the boundary.
Okay. I think this will be a... Let's say this is intelligence occult. Your specialty in werewolves does count.
Okay. Intelligence cult. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I did. Okay. So that's...
Remember, you have 12 plus ones in the pool.
I'll go ahead and add one to this, because I feel like if I flunk it, I'm going to be found. By either the detectors or by the Paxiform ready.
It is unclear whether the Supernat detectors pick up wolf bloods. Who are not full werewolves, but basically werewolf family to werewolves. In NWoD, they would be kinfolk. And that word is also used because that's why I'm starting to call it Worlds of Darkness in Space. So, what'd you get?
14. 3 successes.
Okay. Yep. So, you're kind of walking around Ponos. You see something that looks like it was a territorial marking, but is just so old that you can tell this isn't, maybe not someone's territory anymore. You kind of keep moving along in that direction, and Ponos is very much like, when the ship descended, well, you were unconscious. So you basically woke up in the parking lot, which was still, like, so you walk out of this sort of, the spaceship equivalent of a parking garage, and it's already, this area is in a state of perpetual twilight, because the sunlight just doesn't reach down here, and you have to replace it with fluorescent lights. This city extends a mile into the atmosphere from what you think is the ground. No one really goes down that far. And I think it was about a half mile down that y'all found Scylla, a bar, and by that point it was basically a perpetual night, regardless of the time of day, lit by dust-coated fluorescent lights, which at this level only were about half the time reliable. And it just smells like, and your smell senses are just
overwhelmed with exhaust and fumes.
Exhaust and fumes and acrid dust and soot and just rotting and rust because there's no air circulation down here. There, once in a while, you pass a building which is slightly more well-to-do than the others, and you can hear what sounds like it might be an air recycler. But even those are closer to the parking garage, and the further down you go, like, ain't nobody can afford that. You actually give me another roll of... this time, make it... wits and streetwise.
Do streetwise. Do more streetwise. I need to update this. Okay. All right, that's this. 15.
Okay. At least a couple of times you notice people following you. And you know that those aren't cops. Cops don't come here. Those are people looking to score, yeah. And you are more or less able to avoid them or
stare them down because I'm, 6'4" and built like a brick shit house.
Predator's aura, yes, and
yeah.
And they kind of like leave you alone. You can't tell if they're Supernats. You can't tell if they're human. But yeah, this is definitely the rough part of town. They're definitely and you've heard of things like living in Eden system has a very strong social safety net. There is not very much of a homeless problem because like they have very like they have a very reliable, I guess, assisted housing, or housing assistance system. So these are things that you've heard of from other people who've migrated to Eden. And it's like, oh, this place is so run down, they're probably not paying rent. This would be a squat. This would be a homeless shelter. That is actually a cardboard box that I think someone lives in based on the smell. And a lot of this is just sort of, it's almost like something you've read about. It's as if, you know, you've read all about this other country in books but never been there, and now you are here and wow, this sucks. The lack of sunlight is bad enough, but the human suffering, or well, yeah, especially humans, you can't always tell what who's a Supernat and who's not. But these are definitely people that Limos system has forgotten and not taken care of.
Yeah. The concentrated funk also contributes something to it.
Yeah. But you do sort of follow, you know, and you see other kind of extraterritorial markings that you kind of get a sense, and you go further and further. You're at least 3/4 of a mile down, and there are no more homeless. There are no more smells of people that are fresh. You smell only decay and rot and rust. And you start to feel the hairs prick up on the back of your neck as something that is bad is in the area. And that's when you see a very fresh territorial marking. And not only does it say keep out, it is, you kind of get a sense of, I'll allow this to be part of the occult role. Not only is it a territorial marking, it's not so much a mark that says stay out or we'll kill you. It's a mark that says don't come in here, you'll die. There is a subtle difference.
Yeah.
That it's less...
If you come in here, we won't be the thing that kills you.
Basically, yeah. Which, when a wolf pack says that, that is bad. And that is... The Wolfbloods have a whole community in Eden City. The smart thing would be to not go any further.
And I don't.
You have an idea where the territory starts, but you know, oh, I'm out.
That's all I was looking for, was the territorial edges.
And at that point, you hear kind of a noise. You're not sure if it's animal or machine, though.
Where's it coming from?
It's kind of coming from above your line of sight. Like, you're next to a building, there are some windows and doorways. As pointless as windows are in this part of town. Probably for the last several centuries. Do you look up?
I do.
You see, of all things, some kind of black bird. And it's just sort of like looking at you, blinking at you. There is barely any light left down here. Because, like, you see the starts of this is where the industrial pipes and utilities are. So there's the equivalent of, like, emergency lights that you'd find in utility. And it's not that it was planned that way, it's that that's all that's left. Nobody comes down here. And you see you basically see sort of the shape of it. And you see, like, a glint of something that's not just, like, a glossy beak, but that might be metallic? And then it flutters away, you think. It was in that not even a full beam of light that you could see it, and also because you have Wolfblood senses, and it... So...
Whew. That one could bite me. So, I'll head back up to the surface at that point.
Down here, it's all just, it was pretty easy to hear that noise because there's just no other sound down here. It's as if the dust and the rot is just absorbing all of the sound. It's a very strange... It's almost like more like being in a forest than being in a city or an urban environment where there's stone and metal and sound echoes. It's like something is just absorbing it. like you're walking through a fog or a dream, or both, with just the occasional sounds of drips of condensation because there is no air circulation down here. It is very eerie to walk into a ghost town entirely made of night. And you are a little bit unsettled. Even before seeing the keep out for your own safety mark.
Yeah. Oh. I know better than to disobey it, so I'm gonna head back to the ship after that. It's probably taken me the better part of a day to do this.
Yeah. This is not your town, and you were going into parts that were not easy to get through because no one's supposed to go there. Meanwhile, Klaus, is there anything you're looking into?
Just poking around to see if I can, well, I don't know. I'm gonna say look for anybody who might be able to help with the AI problem in my head, but I doubt there's anyone here that can do that since it is magic.
No, not particularly. There are, this is almost what you're more used to from, Pluton, I believe, is where you're from originally. It wasn't quite as built up mega city as Lagoi, but it's still like there was definitely, again, this is a future where all of the other isms and phobias are gone and have doubled down on classism. So I'm not actually give me a roll of let's say intelligence streetwise. Actually, no. Presence streetwise. Because this is more you would have to, like, ask people where things are. Unless you're using mage powers.
11, which is 2 successes.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, Klaus has their side hustle. So through that kind of thing, just like, hi, I am not a cop, kind of aura of convincing. You do get a sense of, yeah, there are some, like, back alley medical practitioners, but a lot of the time, and this is the kind of area where, the illicit drug trade also doubles as the local drugstore for, like, normal stuff. Because this is the
Hey kid, you want some Band-Aids?
hey kids, you want some Tylenol? Like, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm
So you
poking around a little bit, trying not to step on toes, and having mental arguments with my hitchhiker.
Your hitchhiker has started singing a new song.
Oh, joy. Really getting
I'm
tired
an
of the
AI
last
girl in an AI world. Chips and plastic. It's fantastic. And other similar lyrics. Chat, feel free to filk that.
one. Yeah.
I'm an AI girl in an AI world. So it says it's a girl now, but it's singing. But, you know. Gender
It
fluid
can have
society.
whatever gender it wants. It's not got a degree of identity that gives it a gender, in my opinion, but you know.
And there have been plenty of moments throughout your looking around. It's like, no, ask him for some stuff because I'm sure it's cool. And like, just ask constantly, do the bad thing! Do the bad thing! Being that annoying voice in your head that at this point, you almost want to be like, good aligned just to spite it.
Yeah.
She never thought the devil on your shoulder would inspire you towards good just out of sheer spite.
It happens more often than you'd think.
Yeah, I feel like doing drugs. Voice in head, do drugs.
Do
Well, now I
drugs,
am not doing it.
Fine, I won't do drugs. Oh, I should have put a content warning of drug use on this. Anyway, yeah, that happens here. Sorry, chat. If that's triggering to anyone. Masterson, what are you up to?
I'm reviewing the records I have from the Imperial listening post that scanned us when we came in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sort of trying to put together a picture of what's going on with the system government from that. before I start making active inquiries into who's doing bad things that I need to put a foot in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I am not leaving the ship to do this. I have my nice little computer right here.
Okay. That is something I forgot to work on, so I'm gonna make a note of that.
Well, that's fine.
And say that you do get stuff, I just don't know what it is yet.
It will be
Hashtag
important later.
It is something that is less important today.
It's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Well, we'll see about that.
It's a reference to a meme.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so, yeah, do any of you go back to Scylla while you're in town?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, where else is there to go?
Scylla.
So yeah, for those of you who weren't there last time, again, well, Klaus and Dune have both been exploring on their own. But again,
Apparently I was there last time.
And I wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, Masterson, who do you look like now that Dune is awake?
That's a good question. So I can't go wandering around in this military uniform.
I mean, you
That would
could,
be-
but I would not advise it.
That would be noticed. So I will borrow a sungrazer.
Sorry, Puka, you're not here. No shame on that now. It's summer, it's, you know, travel time, and yeah, stuff's happening, but yeah. Now our players have the additional motivation, be it game or Masterson will steal your face.
It's a threat. Maybe it's not a threat, more of a promise.
Oh, it'll happen.
Oh.
Happen.
Yep. So yeah, y'all are. It's a couple days later. There are other bars to hang out in, but this is definitely.
Oh. Did I help the nice lady get her liquor license issue fixed?
You are trying to,
Okay.
but it's ow, red tape. It's not even red tape. It's the sense that you're putting the application in and it's being completely ignored. There are other bars to hang out in. Some of them have liquor licenses, some of them don't. Some of them sell liquor anyway. None of them seem to be run by Supernats, or at least not by changelings, or any of the kinds of Supernats that you three can perceive. But yeah, Scylla is still there, and there's this wizened lady, and one day you stop in there. What do you try to put on the jukebox this time? Now that you're Sungrazer.
Oh, we're still blasting ska.
Ska!
It's all ska.
Dun, 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 dun.
This whole town's gonna be convinced that everyone in our group has a thing for ska just because.
Well, the sign, the lights on the sign are broken, so it's SCA. The Y and the two L's are missing.
Ah.
So we're just making the music match the advertising.
And
See.
you can both tell that this is as loud as this music gets. Mostly because most of the speakers in the room are broken. So you are able to blast it a little bit more than what was playing before, but like this place is very broken.
Oh, I'm also writing myself a note that Sungrazer owed me more money.
Is it like playing it on a gramophone, just that kind of, you know?
Actually, not from all the speakers, but yes, from some of the speakers. Because they're sort of positioned all around the bar, but, like, Dune, you can pretty much tell which ones work and which ones don't pretty easily, because you're a wolf blood. And, yeah.
I'm gonna go sit, like, right under one of the working speakers so that I'm not getting more of a headache from unbalanced sound than I already have.
I'm an AI world! It starts doing the ska remix of that.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know what that would sound like. Chat,
Sounds
go for it.
perfect.
Chat, do something. So it's 2 days after you've gotten here, and you're all trying to do your thing. Pashurkio is off doing Pashurkio's thing. You've also checked in here periodically because this is where you ask to be contacted about talking to other Supernats.
Yes.
And today, or this evening, or any time of day, because, well, it's a city of perpetual night at this level, so time is even more of an illusion than it usually is.
So you're saying is that when I was walking around down underneath everything, it was doom and gloom?
Do you say that in character? Just asking.
Doom and gloom. Excuse me. Sorry. Doom and gloom.
Masterson, what you all hear is, Masterson and Dune, and, well, yeah, Masterson, Dune, and Klaus, what you hear is something go, psh. You hear a tiny rim, you hear, like, an audible rim shot, and you're not sure where it came from.
That wasn't just in my head, right?
What wasn't just in your head?
If it wasn't your head, then it was also in mine. I do not know if it was anyone else's, however.
I would point out that in recent weeks we've had an encounter with something that could do that.
Really? I do not remember this.
Lucky you. I'm just saying
So
that
blackout.
someone doing a rim shot on a pun in the environment I'm sitting in seems very much like something that would just happen up there. So if I wasn't the only one who heard that, it's interesting.
Maybe I'm in their heads now, too.
I would not wish that on anyone.
Said Klaus to no one.
Scanning. Looking for the thin white Duke.
You do not see him, but...
I didn't see him last time either.
Yeah, you didn't see him last time, but you can't see him today either. And Maya is behind the bar, cleaning glasses, and not serving alcohol, only serving non-alcoholic beverages because her liquor license is gone. And maybe never coming back. Oh, what also was established with Petruchio was that, the guy that used to own this bar and be Petruchio's contact is dead. Presumably, the cops are calling it a failed mugging, but there was, like, hate graffiti nearby, and it's like, yeah, that's not a mugging. So Maya took over, and basically whoever they are paying rent to does not care so long as the rent is getting paid, but they did lose their liquor license and they have been unable to renew it. So they have coffee and other carbonated and caffeinated stuff. They have, like, juice and water, and that's about it. So it's not really a busy bar anyway.
I'll go over to the bar and order a hot chocolate.
Yeah, she's like, alright, yeah, I could do that. And she kind of wanders around getting hot water and hot cocoa mix, and... Actually, no, she's a wizen. She just basically pulls one out from under the counter. You don't know how she did it that fast. Wizen magic.
Much appreciated. I will take it, and I will walk back over to my group.
Yeah, it's like 2 credits. Or are you guys starting a tab?
I will check my wallet. Do I have any credits left?
I didn't use your money.
Okay.
I'm not
I do
rude.
have money in my wallet, so I'll put down 4 credits and walk back over to my people.
You're a trickster, not malicious. There's a difference.
I paid my own tab last time, I say, as a sungrazer.
I paid my own tab. No, that's not... now I want to do Puka impressions. Anyway.
The last time somebody stripped me naked while I was otherwise occupied, I woke up to no cash left in the wallet and some very unflattering things printed on.
Yeah, Maya
There's a
does
reason
notice
you
that-
don't go drinking with the Wolf Blood Cousin rugby team. They
Wait,
can hold their liquor.
you have a different voice now. What? Why
This
is your
is
accent?
my voice and has always been my voice.
Well, I would also know that Sungrazer doesn't look like Sungrazer from the last time.
And she just, she sort of looks at Not Sungrazer, just like, just sort of rolls her eyes.
And also, I managed to switch species somehow, so there is that. Because if she's a wise,
Oh yeah, he's not you're not, you're also more change. Oh no, wait, fuck it, I get it. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. And she goes back to cleaning glasses. Y'all were just hanging out in the bar, and at some point she gets a phone call. Yeah? You're gonna come here? Okay, I'll tell them. Bloop. Yeah, so a, local Church of the Weird's gonna come out to see ya.
Neat.
She's gonna meet you here.
very well.
Hmm.
This'll be fun.
Be interesting, to say the least.
I suppose it will, although I do not know that organized religion has any particular foothold in this area any longer.
Well, I think it'll be interesting.
That's a fair point.
Are you all sitting, like, together at a table? Or just how...
I was assuming so, since we were kind of conversing.
Okay.
Or we could just be standing in the middle of space conversing because we couldn't find a table. You know, in all these empty tables.
Yeah.
So, a
Table is mine.
A woman walks into the bar. She is wearing a shiny pleather tight halter top and mini skirts and fishnets and like thigh-high shiny pleather boots. And she, has very striking dark almond eyes and straight black hair. And she kind of just traipses up to Not Sungrazer. So, you call for a date? And she is most certainly a changeling.
I must salute you, madame.
The other two of you do not see, you just see a woman walk up to Not Sungrazer. Do you call for a date?
But she's still dressed like...
Absolutely.
But she is still dressed like what you described, right?
Yeah.
In what we see. I'll raise my glass here. I must salute you, madame. I do not think that I could manage heels of that size, were I some 20 years younger.
I mean, I could teach you, but I don't do that for free.
Nor should you, not in a place like this.
So, is it just, and she's looking at Not Sungrazer, so is it just us, or are your friends coming along?
My friends would like to observe.
Oh. Yeah, we could do that. Maya, we need the back room, and Maya's just like... and Maya's... Actually, no, Maya's just like shrugs. Alright. Yeah. And she kind of takes some... She takes the PC changeling by the hand and just sort of gently drags you to the back room.
Sure.
Get up and follow.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well.
Us?
Yeah.
I will discreetly offer Klaus a small bottle of silvery liquid, which I pulled out from underneath my trench coat space, because I have refilled trench coat space, but it's not with guns.
What is the silver liquid?
Moonshine.
Oh, okay.
I'll take some of that.
It's
Without a word and with a little, nod of thanks, I will take you up on this silent offer.
So it's also glowing of its own power, yes, okay.
Not too much now.
Of course not.
Wolf
I'm not
Country
an idiot.
Moonshine!
I'm
And
kidding, of course I'm an idiot, but I've learned my
at
lesson
least
on this
40
one.
liters of this stuff.
So, as this lady is leading you, don't worry, sweetie. There's plenty salvation to go around. And she...
I would hope so. After all, there is help for those who ask of it, no matter where they are or what they choose to do.
Wow, you talk a lot. And, okay, so... All right, just checking my notes. All right, so she walks into the back room. It's the same back room, not Sungrazer that you were in last time. There's like a cheap table that wobbles. There's like one chair. There's a swinging lamp with a light switch. It's, you know, this room has probably been used for interrogations. There's also just, you know, the handy back room at the crappy bar. And this Sungrazer, you can tell she's a darkling. The vibe you're getting off of her feels familiar, but it's like, it feels cold, not like air conditioning cold, but like
Depths of space cold.
not even that, because that is like a physical surface feeling, at least at first. This is more like, the rest of you also get it. It's this kind of spine-tingling chill, like in your bones more so than on your skin. You still feel the sense that Sungrazer is a walking furnace, but under it there's this kind of more subtle feeling while this lady is hanging out, is leading you to the back room.
Once Class had a mouthful, I'll take the bottle from back from them and take a mouthful myself.
Yep. That does not change the feeling, but it makes it less annoying or less disturbing.
That's the important part.
Sungrazer, this feels familiar to you, so why don't you give me a... Weirdly, this, for changelings, this could be considered a politics roll.
Cool. Intelligence politics, or...
Yeah, let's say intelligence politics. Your specialty doesn't count, though.
Does my eidetic memory help?
Sure, I'll allow that.
Okay. 8 plus 2 plus 5. 17.
Oh, Jesus. That's 4 successes. Alright, it takes you a minute, because it's like, you know you've sensed this at Fight Club before, or at the Novacourt bar, but it's like, definitely not Novacourt, because that's a completely different, mantle vibe. And then you remember, the directional courts generally have taken over the financial district in Eden City, but this woman gives you the vibe of a West Courtier.
What do I know about the West Court?
They feed off of honor. And at the Nova Bar, like, they'll hang out with they in a weird way kind of vibe with Summer and Novacourt because they are warriors.
Yeah.
But instead of being the hot-headed rage warriors, they are these stone-cold, honor-bound warriors who, like, don't have senses of humor and are generally, like, a really powerful one is just chilling to be around. But whereas, like, Wintercourt is chilling from the outside in, these guys is from the inside out.
Paladins, but not berserkers.
You would say, oh,
yeah.
the kinds of characters that my D&D group characters are usually fucking terrified of.
Yeah, you get a slight vibe of that, but you've never met one that was a sex worker before. Her demeanor and appearance are very different than what you're used to from West Courtiers, but also you're on a different system. You also, typically West Courtier, 4 successes, all West Courtiers have, like, a favorite weapon. Sometimes it's a magic weapon, sometimes it's mundane. You do not see any weapons on this woman, which is odd. Because usually, like, it's to the point where you've heard people referred to West Courtiers as being married to their favorite weapon, and she ain't got one.
She doesn't have one that I can see. There's a difference.
Ding! I'll just let you have that one, because 4 successes. But yeah, so you've definitely clocked her court, but she doesn't act like the ones you've met through the Nova Bar.
Well, no, it makes sense to me because she is the first point of contact for the Church of the Weird, and she will be the first person to kill whoever's looking for trouble. I absolutely get that. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So as your brain is just kind of naturally what do these vibes mean? Flip, 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 flip. Flip through the Rolodex of changeling vibes and going, oh, she's a this, she's a that, she's a... Okay, makes sense. She just sort of, she sort of drops your hand and turns on the light switch, walks over to the table and just sort of half sits, half leans back onto it.
Because of the corset.
What do you want from us holdouts?
We came to make an offer.
Okay, I'm listening.
We have a boat and a way to get you off planet.
Okay, that's very nice of you, but we can't leave.
Why?
So, you're the Karve people?
Yes.
So... Sorry, sweetie. We're getting into Oath Circle territory. I am willing to let you all in, but I cannot tell you why we're here unless you are willing to swear the oath of secrecy. So, I can tell you what I can, but all I can say without that is that it is important. And we are not staying... My motley isn't staying here lightly. Like, we're not just fucking around to find out. There is a reason for us to stay here. We cannot tell you what it is unless you enter our oath circle. Which I wouldn't usually be willing to do with complete strangers, but if you are the Karve people who, you know, fought a Thurazaz and won... I mean, are any of you, Church of the Wild members? Church of the Weird members, sorry.
I have friends who were in the Church of the Weird. We rescued a priest of theirs from Minions of the Blighter over in Eden.
Okay, that's cool of you, but like...
We are not full members of the Church of the Weird, no. Neither Sungrazer or I. And I don't think the rest of you are.
So if you want to ask me anything else while you think that over, like, we can do that, but I can't actually tell you or show you unless you enter into our oath circle.
You can't show us or tell us anything about why you're here, but can you... Well, I have been looking around your fine city, and I have found some worrying marks from the lowdown pacts. Is what you're guarding worse than those?
Okay, so to level with you, I do know the crows, and we are sort of helping them, because they can't... So, okay, like, the first rule of Wolf Club is you do not talk about Wolf Club. So I don't know what they're doing either, but I do know it is at least as important as what we're doing. And, like, I'm not gonna pry, because there'd be the last allies we have here.
No.
So...
I would not expect you to. I was simply hoping to see if there was a comparison of weights there, as it were.
I mean, I don't know a ton about the Shadow World Wolf stuff. I would assume it's something important that they're protecting. That's just the read I get on them when I do see them. Mostly my motley's been also helping, like, keep them supplied so they don't have to leave their territory. And it's mostly the Crow Pack and a couple others, like, working together. But that's it for werewolves on Logoi now.
So there's only one pack left? I thought there were two. Or at least I was informed there were.
I'm not all that up on how wolves organize themselves. The sense I get is that there's, like, either more important or older pack is the crows. And then there's maybe, like, some other wolves who are doing stuff. Oh, and I think there's some mages working with them.
That tracks with the information we got from Maya.
Yeah, so...
I'll pull out my bottle of Wolf Country Moonshine, which this plant probably hasn't seen in 100 years, and offer her a sip.
And she smells it and is like...
Small mouthful. I would recommend.
Ooh, that's shiny. And she hands it back. So, yeah. I would say, again, they don't know what we're protecting, we don't know what they're protecting, but, like, we vibe.
So you're protecting, not caging.
Well, I mean, that's what I said. But yeah, I
Is
can't
what you
tell you
said.
any details unless Oath Circle.
Remind me how an oath circle works out of character, because it's been a while.
So pledges are kind of like minor oaths, where if you do say you're gonna do something or won't do something, and then you fail, you get kind of minor problems from it later. Oaths are a much bigger, more serious deal. Either whether it's the basis of a motley or a marriage or a protection racket or something like that. And generally, what oaths will give you is a bonus towards, or at least the way I'm doing it today, way I'm doing it, because in a simpler way, because changeling is complicated. Oaths are a much bigger deal. We're basically it's almost like a contract, a magical contract, as opposed to the contracts that are your magic powers, where you swear upon something that you will do or not do thing or enter into an agreement with, because she said oath circle.
Yeah.
And yeah, so changelings do oath circles, and generally it gives you a bonus sometimes towards upholding your oath, but if you break it, like, shit gets awful. And it's like the weird itself enforces oaths and punishes oath breakers and is bad. Oh, Vampiric Yoda bought me a GM boost. Thank you.
Thanks, Yoda. We will. Don't worry.
So yeah, oaths are serious business, and given your 4 successes on the roll before, like, the fact that a West courtier who feeds on honor would be willing to enter into an oath circle with 3 strangers is significant as to the importance. And is actually her, taking a major risk, because she doesn't know you people.
So, like, the oath circle would be, we swear to her, and if we
well, this is what your changeling would know.
Okay.
Dune is like, okay. Dune is like, probably maybe heard the term before, and, like, werewolves swear oaths and things like that, but you're not sure what that means in changeling terms.
No, if we agree to this, it's binding, and the universe will punish us if we break it. Reality will make out life very complicated very fast.
Yeah. This is serious.
And it can't be shifted off planet.
I mean, what do you mean shifted off planet? Like,
Can the whole kit and caboodle come with you?
I mean, we've been looking into that, but, I mean, unless you have a way to get hedge stuff off of a planet through the void of space, like, we'd have to get an army of changelings to bring it through Arcadia.
Yes.
So, if we happen to have a hedge ship.
What's a hedge ship?
It's a ship with its own hedge gate.
I believe that it was
Our
phrased...
ship has a hollow.
Yes.
That's a thing.
I was just as surprised as you were when they showed it to me, but yes.
I mean, that could help a lot, but then it's a question of, like, where, we can't show you what it is, and you would have to let us bring it on your ship, and you wouldn't be able to see it. Also, the question is, where are we gonna take it? Because I know a lot of people are all like, oh, Dysnomia is the new promised land, and I'm like, nah, bitch. They're gonna bomb the shit out of that.
We're going back to Eden. And I am sure you could find a hassle of people who are willing to help you operate and keep this particular thing safe on Eden without us asking any questions or without us knowing anything about what you're doing. I am fairly certain that we can get you there without any questions or problems or anyone bothering you.
Okay, I mean, we can work that out, but you would need to trust us with your hollow, and then you couldn't use it while we're using it, because you won't be allowed to see what's in there.
Can you keep the thing in the hollow wallet without in a portion of the hollow, as it is a large hollow, and we are attempting to use the hollow to get everyone off of?
I mean, it'll take some work, but we could figure that out.
The ship is not mine.
believe.
It's Petruchio's ship. We'll have to talk to him about it, but I think it's something that we can work out.
I know that the local packs are working with some mages. I don't suppose that they could help you in your concealment of not in doing your thing, but in building you a space where you could put it where nobody could see it.
I mean, we're changelings. We have our own magics for that.
I am not familiar.
It's complicated.
A lot of legalese.
It's not necessarily legalese, it's just...
It works better if you just explain it as legalese.
Oh, well...
Well, that's no business of mine.
If I'm in a court of law, I've done my job wrong, basically.
Not untrue.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, like, get it from our hollow, I guess, into yours discreetly without anyone seeing it, and then I guess set up something in yours to keep it contained and quiet, and with prying eyes off of it.
As I recall, the only thing that's currently in our hollow is a sapphire dragon.
Like, is he like a pet?
I don't know. It belongs to
I've never been
Petruchio.
clear on that point.
Yeah, it belongs to Petruchio. I honestly don't know what it is.
The damn thing bit me, and I've never liked it. If it must go, I would not mourn to see it off.
We're not stranding the sapphire dragon in here.
No, we would not strand it.
Probably die.
No.
That would just be cruel.
I never said abandon it, I said see it off.
I know. Just messing with you.
Alright, cause like I don't know what your plan is if y'all are gonna help the people on Dysnomia.
We are.
Okay, so I guess we can work out the logistics. If you're okay with having something on your ship that you have no idea what it is.
I have that right now. There are things on the ship. I have no idea what they are.
To be fair,
I look pointedly at Klaus.
Hey.
to be fair, he did rather, well, the slime cat has rather taken a disliking to him, as far as I can tell, and bites him at every opportunity. That may be what he's referring to, but as I said, if you simply stroke it correctly, the cat will like you better.
There's a jelly cat. It's a thing. I was not aware of it before now, but it's absolutely.
Is it a hedge beast? Or
No.
just an animal? Okay.
It exhibits characteristics of
be.
animal, but it also exhibits characteristics of vegetable and mineral, so.
It acts like a cat.
It's
So we pet
warm
it
and it
sometimes.
purrs. It also leaves a slime trail if you are not careful.
I am morbidly curious about the slime cat. Okay. Alright, I mean, I'll talk to my motley.
Yeah. We'll be more than happy to do whatever we need to do to get you out of here and get whatever this is out, because from what it sounds like, it is not safe to leave unprotected, and it is also not something that you want rampaging around a planet full of humans. If rampage is an appropriately titled phrase.
I think I can say enough to say that it's not a rampage problem.
But it's we don't need it to be in the hands of other people problem.
That I think I can, yeah.
Like I
And
said,
what-
I don't need practicals. I'm perfectly happy to work with theoreticals.
I mean, if whoever is captain of your ship needs to know, like, I mean, we're Church of the Weird. I don't know if this is a Church of the Weird thing, or just something that only the Church of the Weird does, is that we can make an oath circle with anybody. It's just someone who isn't of the weird would have to invest their own glamour, and I'm willing to do that.
That may be something that we talk about with Petruchio, who again is the leader of the company, but he's currently indisposed, working on something else.
Okay.
For another problem. But he will be more than happy to make that final decision of what he wants to do with that next time we see him. And I will be more than happy to put you two in the same room together to make that accommodation.
Okay. I mean, we've still got Scylla for now.
Right.
So, and my motley, like, as long as we don't have to leave the MacGuffin unprotected, we help out here sometimes when it's necessary. And with that, you, as she's saying that, you hear Maya scream, "I need some help out here! It's back!" And, we will take our break. As you hear, "It's back!" And then there is a crash, and a clatter, and a you're not sure if it's the roar of a beast or the metallic groan of an industrial machine.
Why does it have to just be one?
Why not both? So yes, chat, our alarm break just went off. So this is where we usually take a 10-minute bio break, because it's 8:30 and I actually set my alarm this time. So chat, check in with yourself, get a snack, get a drink, use the bathroom, and we will be back in 10 minutes when we find out what that very strange, unpleasant noise was, aside from Maya.
I hope it's not the Edison elephant.
And remember, chat, this is definitely a hedge stuff episode. NPC drops are really easy to deal with. Woohoo! But we will see you in a sec. Or we'll see you in 10 minutes of seconds. Bye! Hello, chat. I hope you can hear us. All I did was turn the audio off and on again, but that can often ruin everything.
Yes, it is a question. Can you hear us? As opposed to just Miss Quickly.
Woohoo! But yes.
I think we're audible.
Okay.
Cool beans.
Audible.
Nice. Yay. Chat, feel free to tell us if you can't hear us. Okay, great. Can you hear the music?
We're going.
Because it's not a big deal if you can't, but I'm just curious.
We have music?
We have music, but it's coming through my system,
okay.
So, and I'm wearing headphones, so that it is possibly not distracting to y'all. Not really? Okay. No, I can't hear you speaking. I think Fadier's fucking with us. Okay.
Yes.
We're ignoring.
That is Fadier's modus operandi.
Okay. Dune, ask the question you were going to ask, before we get back into the action. Ask me the question you wanted to ask off camera.
Oh, if we oath with the Darkling, with the Church of the Weird would-be sex worker faking it kind of for surveillance reasons, if we took her up on our oath circle and we oathed with her, and we broke it, would that hurt her as much as it would hurt us?
It sounds like, based on context clues, that whatever it is that this is oathy about is a secret that they want to keep a secret. So yeah, if you break the oath and spread the secret, it will probably screw over the plans of everyone in the oath circle. So yeah.
I'm mostly disinclined to oath because I don't want to accidentally tie us to this planet. The last thing I want to do is break an oath because I left.
Well, it sounds like whatever it is they're protecting is portable.
Yes, that is the important part.
So,
and since we know that, we don't care about anything else.
and
so,
she pretty amenable to the idea of taking it to Idun. So, but she can't give you more details unless you oath circle.
Yeah. And given that there are 250,000 changelings in Eden City, I'm going to say they'll probably find somebody willing to oath with them.
Or, you know, there's also other parts of the planet that are more agrarian in nature.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in one city, in one 50-mile square city, there's a lot of people who might be willing to oath with her.
Yep. Yeah, it's, you know, werewolves have, like, oath magic-y stuff, I think. So it's like, okay, I guess changelings do too.
I mean, it's secrets, and that's a wolf. You know?
But
I mean, in a world with magic, there are only so many things that the word oath can mean.
Then it gets really confusing because now changeling magic is actually called contracts.
That threw me off for a little while, not gonna lie.
Yep. Anywho. Alright.
What you're saying is that to do anything, changelings have to become rules lawyers?
Regular ones.
Fair.
That's why they have to do morality checks for gaslighting. No, the rules are this! Shut up. Are you secretly a keeper? How dare. At least it's not Comcast, yep.
Yeah.
This is the East Coast. Actually, I don't know if we have Comcast here, but I don't. I sometimes wonder, like, would my stream be better if I had a business internet account? And then I see what Zoe has to deal with, and I'm like, nah, I'm okay.
No, it wouldn't be.
It's just that you get crappy service for maybe wholesale. I don't even know how that works. Anyway, so yes, our player characters were talking to a Darkling lady who is a member of the Church of the Weird, who are the last changeling, to their knowledge, the last changeling holdouts in the city. She revealed that her motley is protecting something, but she couldn't give them a whole lot of detail unless they entered into an oath circle with her. Which, being, like, on one hand, westerly changeling, honors their way of life with them, that is a big... It is saying something that she was willing to enter into an oath circle with 3 strangers, but 3 strangers who were part of Karve, which fought a Thurzaz and won. You know.
Yeah, she was about to straight up marry us because, you know, she's desperate and we have a reputation. That's it.
You're not really getting a sense of her desperation. She's just like, yeah, we'll stay if we have to because there's no other way to protect this. But she's like, oh, there's a way off? I mean, we'll work on it. She is... You have met the first supernatural holdout, and she is willing to work with y'all. But there are limits to what she can tell you. Unless you decide to oath up with her.
I will let Petruchio make that decision, as he is ultimately the one in charge.
Yes.
Which is even funnier, given he's an they're an Invictus. And I believe in COD, Invictus also have oath magic. But just those vampires, because they're Invictus. Hashtag Invictus life. But y'all don't know that because y'all ain't vampires. Sorry, chat.
Nope.
I'm saying it for the chatlings. Anyway, so last our protagonists, because no heroes in the world of darkness. Our protagonists were talking to this pretty amenable Darkling lady who's like, yeah, we could work something out. I don't actually want to stay here, but the thing that's here has to stay here. Because the alternative is going through Arcadia. She did not know that a spaceship could have a hollow on it, and she is very much enthused about this idea. Also, she is very skeptical about the Supernats on the yellow Mars planet being at all safe, since they're all in one place that can be bombed from above. And she's like, yeah, I'm not...
Oh yeah, this marginally habitable planet that nobody wanted until you suddenly had to leave the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all
that smells bombable.
Y'all have you know, achievement unlocked. Found the person we found the amenable. Yes, let's help each other, kind of person. Woohoo!
That means you guys get the really hard ones.
Anywho, oh, she also gave some info on the local werewolves, who she has some contact with, and is convinced that they are protecting something as important as what she is protecting, but she hasn't oath-circled with them, and is aware of the whole first rule of Wolf Club is we do not talk about Wolf Club, so she hasn't really pried, and doesn't want to piss off her only allies on the planet if she has to stick around. And, yeah, so, and as y'all wrapping up, like, oh, this wasn't a very hard convince. Okay, this is pretty cool. You hear, our protagonist heard Maya say, "It's back! Help!" And you heard a sound, I believe I described it as, it could be the howl of an animal, but it could also be the groan of a metal industrial device, or both. And a whole bunch of, like, angry banging and clattering noises. So we return to that moment. Salvation has hopped off the table that she was kind of... It's like she can't help doing the sexy thing in her skin-tight, shiny pleather everything, and she's just like... It is a crop top, so you can see her belly button. She has a cute belly. She's very skinny, like a darkling. She's just sort of hops off, like... well, I'm gonna go help my local ally. Do you want to help?
Absolutely.
Okay. Goes into the trench coat space and pulls out a really big knife.
Ooh, nice. Okay. We can be friends. And she just sort of, like...
My apologies, they made me leave my preferred weapons back on Eden.
Yeah, weapons are tricky here unless you go through Archimedes, and, like, wow, they're a lot. They are a lot. And...
They're also not particularly fond of us for reasons I do not need going into at this juncture.
Like, Karve specifically?
No, some of us. Who were, on Rubnoy.
Specifically, I'm not gonna go into it, though.
Oh. Okay.
Pressing concern. Shall we get to that before we have a heart-to-heart about things that happened that none of us know about?
Yeah, let's go beat something up. I promise it'll be fun. And yeah, she just sort of traipses out the door again, not Sungrazer. She does not act like a standard West Court person. She's just like, la la la, fighting things. She does give that aura of, I am a stone cold badass.
Dune goes first and shoulder checks the door open. Just because, you know, it's bad.
Oh, she can move faster. She just opens it and walks through. Oh. Sorry, bro. You try to no, I can be manly. Okay.
I mean, you know, it's shock and awe, you know.
I'm bringing up the rear, checking on what I have in my pockets.
So
drugs and weed. Okay.
You walk in. Again, you can't see any weapons on Salvation, but she does not seem blessed. You'll see. As you all exit, you basically see Maya run through the bathroom door into what is clearly now a hedge gate, because bathroom doors make the best hedge gates. And she's got something that looks like oh, what? It's not a ballista. It's the gun with the big, like, horn on the end.
Blunderbuss.
Blunderbuss. It looks like she's got a blunderbuss as she's running in. You still don't see the guy in the white skirt suit. But what you do notice is that, weirdly, you heard that noise here, but is something happening in the hedge? And you see, like, there are dents and cracks on the walls in places on this side that you did not see when you came in. And Salvation's just sort of traipsing through after Maya, just like, yay!
I'll hang back a little bit and make sure she gets to the gate first, then switch to my cold iron knife.
Yep. Tra-la-la.
Oh, so, good. We're going back into a hedge gate.
on a planet where almost every changeling has been either deported or murdered. I don't see how this could possibly end badly.
With a character ostensibly named Sister Salvation. Because I was listening to that on a loop all day today. I don't know what I'm doing with this NPC. Oh wait, no, now I know what I'm doing with this NPC.
No, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Not in the slightest.
It'll be fine.
Hedge
Completely
bullshit.
fine.
Yay!
So after having pulled my cold iron knife, I'll head through the hedge gate. I will wait for him to go through the head, not for Sungrace to go through the hedge gate, because changeling bullshit.
Yep, you go through the hedge gate. I will describe what it looks like when you get... do you all go through the hedge gate? Just, you know, there's an order, I assume.
I'm only going through if Sungrace is going through.
Yeah, I'm going through.
Klaus?
I'm gonna follow them.
Okay. So, y'all have been, I think at this point, yeah, you have all been in the hedge, just in Eden, where it's like the mundane side of Eden City, but just more green and more leafy green and thorny green and vines and fruits.
When it isn't A, covered in firethorn, and B, inflicted by a blighter cult.
Yeah, those were... I mean, well, the red thorn is the fire thorn is more common. The blighter cult, that was pretty fucked up. Walking through, it almost reminds you a little bit of the blighter cult territory, but not. It's... You walk into it, it looks sort of like the bar, only it's almost like you're in a grove lined with trees instead of the walls and the other sort of industrial bits of pipes and wires and such. Except that these trees are made of old, dulled steel, and some are rusting. Others are coated in this film of, like, acrid coal dust of whatever. It's probably not oil anymore, but it's probably some kind of fossil or otherwise bad for the environment fuel. There's ivy draped around that looks like barbed or electrified wire. And there's just these neon vines that are flickering like the neon lights outside the bar, also with that acrid coat of black dust. And on the trees there's moss that looks like rusty steel wool. It is this very interesting, like, we're in the hedge, but this is definitely the Lagoy version of the hedge. And it looks... Yeah. And for all it looks like metal and steel and wires and electricity and pollution, it definitely does not look as well manicured as the hedge in Eden City. Like... Even in you know, what is the hedge side of Wizen's bar, there's a lot of upkeep involved in keeping a hollow together, and, well, I mean, this would be more for Sungrazer. The rest of you are just like, huh, this is different, but the same. Okay. You can tell, like, she's been trying to maintain this on her own. It's a lot of work. Especially when there is a monster starting to chomp through the trees that line your little hollow. And it is just like... Have you ever seen the pictures of the hungry caterpillar?
Yes.
Or it's kind of that fanciful version of a caterpillar.
Yeah.
It's like that, only it is 10 feet long. It is entirely made of metal. You see joints, you see rivets. It's got mandibles, it's got teeth, and as it is chewing on the metal trees, oh, the noise. It is almost... We'll see. I've been running so much Fate that I generally leave what happens in combat to the die rolls more than anything else, so we'll see if there are any audio attacks or horrible side effects on y'all's die rolls in the coming combat. So would everyone please roll initiative?
Remind me how to roll initiative.
It should be your initiative plus a d10. Or your
12.
initiative modifier, which is not on the copy of the character sheet I have for...
Okay. Mine's a +5. Okay.
It's...
I got a +8. Shit!
Oh yeah, your initiative modifier is Dex plus Composure, and you add that to a d10.
14.
14. Okay, Dune 14. Anyone else?
12.
I have a 9.
And Sister Salvation got a 16. Because yay, Westcourt. Although that only gave her a +1, to be honest. She rolled good. Maya got an 8. So, oh, and what does the monster get? Oh, the monster got it? Okay. The hungry, hungry caterpillar. So, start thinking about your actions against the hungry, hungry, battle monster, battle tech pillar? I don't know. This is a universe where battle mechs are a thing. Masterson, you're definitely getting a vibe off that, but it's like, where would the cockpit be?
It's going to be a shame.
Say it again?
It's going to be a shame when this thing gets exploded.
Ah.
Okay, so, first one to go is Sister Salvation.
I'd be surprised if she wasn't.
Yeah. And, as she's walking through the door, you kind of see her stance shift a little bit, and there's like a pop, and she pulls a very long sword out of her back. It doesn't look like it. You've seen people with the spine sheaths. This one looks like it was diagonal across her back so that there's more room. It's definitely some kind of plug-in. And she just sort of shing, and okay, so and she takes 8 10 versus 15. How do I do combat against myself again? Hooray. Sorry, chat. I forgot. If when I run combat, that means I have to math. Oh, and Fadier gave me 2 more GM boosts. Woohoo! Which I forgot I could use on this roll, so lucky you. Oh, and Merkirk, we got 3 player boosts. Fine. So player characters, you have a pool of 14. Please declare before you roll. And I get another boost, and okay. Okay, I'm gonna say she does 2 lethal. Because math is hard.
Fair.
because she clearly, the monster rolled very badly, because it was very busy munching on a metal tree and making all sorts of horrible noises. And she just very, for all she's kind of bouncy about, like, yay, combat, she's very, like, not fucking around when it comes to stabbing things. So now Masterson, she seems more like what you know of West Courtier martial arts to be.
Yeah.
And that is Sister Salvation. The next to go is Dune.
Alrighty. I'm gonna take a swing at it with my cold iron knife.
Okay.
Alrighty. That's Dex or Strength?
That'll be strength brawl. Not brawl. Derp.
Weaponry?
Weaponry.
Okay.
Because that's right, it's not melee anymore. But it is firearms. That is not Dune's character sheet.
So that is 14.
Okay. The monster also rolled a 14. Oh, did you add any bonuses for your knife?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I would say a knife would be a +1.
Okay.
So you get a 15. Okay. So I'm gonna say you managed to do 1 ag.
Tears are for the craven, pleading for the clown. Halters fill a silly neck that cannot keep a crown. He was taken prisoner, he was kept in thrall, but iron, cold iron, is master of them all.
Yep, and so you see Dune just sort of, a fight! Clang, and you see Dune just stab into it with, Masterson. I think you could just tell that, oh, that's a cold iron knife. I don't know if Klaus would realize what that is, okay.
I think I've seen Dune use this before, so I might assume just based on that, but...
And you got another faith die, or another GM, another player boost. Okay. So yeah.
This is ready to stab the shit out of the rock monster who's in our hall to begin with.
So you stab into it, and it definitely feels like whatever it is hollow. Or actually, no, it probably has machinery parts in it, but it definitely feels like you're stabbing, like, a truck rather than a creature. And it makes all of the horrible screechy noises you would expect from stabbing metal into metal. Except it sounds more screechy and, like, pained and angry and terrified, but it is still munching.
I twist.
It doesn't do any more damage, but yeah, this is an unhappy monster. Next in the lineup is Klaus.
Okay, I want to use magic, actually, and try to, use my matter sphere. Is that the word? Brain has lost words.
That is the word, and I'm gonna be pretty flexible on mage words, because mage is hard.
Yeah. At one point I learned a bunch of stuff, and that was, like a month ago now, and it's been some time.
Mage
anyway,
is a lot.
I want to try rusting out its joints, see if I can't do damage, or at least make it a little less mobile so my friends can do damage.
Okay, I'll allow that. Alright, what spheres are you using? Do I still have...
I imagine it's probably just matter because it's metal, right?
How many levels of matter do you have?
3.
Oh, that's right, because you're a Moros.
Yeah!
What's your other
And
sphere?
I did level up some stuff, I just haven't actually made, like, a proper spell list yet. Which I had some ideas for as I was sitting down for session today, so I haven't written any of that yet, but,
What are your other spheres?
Death, fate, life, and spirit.
You may consider also adding death to that, because rust is death for metal.
Yeah, that would be, because it's
Fair enough.
effectively rot. Improvised spell helper for Mage 2nd edition. Yay! It's this weird thing. Alright, let me see. What, how many levels of death do you have?
4.
Okay. That's funny, it's already set for death.
Really?
Hmm.
It's almost like that comes alphabetically first.
That is probably why, yes, you're right. Okay. What is your gnosis?
3.
Gnosis is 3. Oh, that's right, because that dropped in. Okay, what levels of death and matter are you using?
What do you mean? What levels of?
Well, you get one, if you have matter up to 3, are you casting a level 1, 2, or 3 spell?
Okay.
Affecting matter like this would probably be a 2.
Okay.
And, how much death?
Due to death as well?
Yeah, okay. So, matter the mage's heart. Oh wait, so let's say this is a death spell now, because that makes more sense. Yes, you don't have any. Primary factor, I would say, is potency. This is not a rote or a praxis. Interesting, okay. I don't have to add in the matter dots. Okay. Ritual casting time. No. Are you using a yantra, which is one of your tools for doing a magic?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Still haven't decided what specifically those would be, but
for Klaus, using high speech gives you a +2. So, and
Okay.
Klaus's style is already to mumble magic nonsense. So it's like, oh wait, but
Yeah.
if I mumble magic actual sense, it's better. So we'll say we're doing with that.
Cool.
Are you adding any additional mana to make the spell do more stuff? Oh, adding mana will also mitigate paradox.
Okay. Yeah. I'll
Okay.
use some mana.
Spend mana. Oh, this spell does not require a paradox roll then. Okay. So you basically spend a mana to not have another abyss goose.
Yeah.
Another Gulmuth goose.
Merc gives me a murderous look.
Yep. So for the first several months of this game, I forgot that mages had paradox in this setting, and just decided, well, this just gives me a great excuse to have a really evil NPC show up. Woohoo!
It was fun.
For
Except-
you.
Unfortunately, there were
Okay,
audio
listen,
issues with
as a
that.
player, those were fun sessions.
Fair, yes.
Unfortunately, there were audio issues with at least one of those sessions, and we still haven't uploaded it, so it's not on the YouTube graveyard. But we promise you it was fun. Okay, so roll a d10 plus 7.
Okay, I can do simple math. It's a 12.
Okay. The withstand was factored into the dice pool, so I don't have to roll. So I'm gonna say, so you got, you only need 1 success in Mage Second Ed to make the magic work.
Cool.
So...
I just got 2 successes, so...
Yes. So I will say, and you were casting it level 2, so I'll say you got 2 more lethal on it.
Yay. It's
So-
very creaky now.
So Klaus, what do you do when casting with high speech? Which is, Dune, it kind of sounds a little bit like the spirit speech that werewolves use, only with a different accent. But you don't necessarily know spirit speech either, so it's just sort of like, is that like hearing the difference between Spanish and Portuguese when you don't speak either?
Yeah.
That's a very good way to put that.
I know. Hashtag librarian life. So
I
what
don't
does
know,
it look like,
probably-
Klaus?
Just kind of stand in the back, point dramatically, mutter seemingly nonsense, and Stygian gate vibes happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Klaus, Dune, you are now unhappy that you only brought one flask of moonshine because Klaus is doing wooge.
I didn't. I didn't bring one flask of moonshine. I refilled Trenchcoat's space with moonshine and knives.
Ah, I see.
You can't carry big guns, so you carry more moonshine.
Yes.
Okay. And let me look at character sheet. How is this monster doing? That does not tell me. Okay, never mind. I will wing it. It'll be fine. Alright. That was Klaus on 3, and now it is the monster's turn. And the Darkling lady stabbed him first, so he's gonna try to bite her. And... oh good, they both rolled exactly the same number. Ties go to defender, so he tries to bite the Darkling lady, but she does a Darkling and just sort of like flex out of the way. I am a slippery, I am a wiggly creature. Wiggle, wiggle. And yeah. Although, you know,
Self-defense.
less goofy and more like, you know, trained hardcore martial artist, but who's made of rubber. You fail, monster. Next is Masterson.
Okay, one clarification. So the last time I got into a fight, and I got to treat Klaus as a member of my freehold for the purpose of activating my abilities. When we were fighting the
Blighter cult.
no, before that, the other thing, the Murder Watch tracker.
Oh, the Huntsman?
Yes. Do I still treat Klaus as a member of my freehold since I don't have a freehold?
Let me... which power is this, or...?
It's just my Summer Mantle my 2 Summer Mantle abilities. The one where I get a bonus to hit something while protecting a member of my freehold, and then the ideal aggravated damage with my mundane attacks while protecting a member of my freehold.
I'll allow that again.
Okay. Fine, my thumbs.
If y'all can join an oath circle and not all be changelings, I'll say that just stands as, like, member of pack.
Okay. Let's see.
Because cheese is fun.
17 to punch this thing in the jaw.
Okay. It only rolls a 16, so I'll say you get, I say you do a bashing to it.
My mundane attacks do aggravated damage.
Oh, okay then. You do 2 aggravated damage.
There's one weapon.
So yeah, the front of it is, where do you punch it?
I punch it in the jaw.
Okay. So yeah, you see the summer mantle, you feel a wave of extra heat as, Master, I'm just gonna call him Master, there's too many names. frickin' mini-mask. There's a wave of heat as Masterson, punches winds up, punches the jaw, and it just sort of has a ricochet effect that seems to form, similar to how Klaus's, effect seemed to rust through it. It started in one place and kind of rusted through a whole patch of it. Sungrazer does the, not Sungrazer does this, because it says on your screen, and I'm like, Masterson does this, and it's almost like there's sort of a wave of force that wobbles through it, causing striations and cracks, and causing, like, rivets and screws to kind of pop out as it sort of travels down its neck. It is looking pretty messed up. But it is still chomping and munching and screeching in angry metal noise.
Do I have an opportunity to say something?
Yes, speaking is a free action.
Do you want to stop now, or am I going to punch you again?
It just screeches in anger and hunger and indignation.
It's not my turn.
Not your turn. 5... and now Maya goes. And she gonna shoot it. Maya has not a great combat roll. But I believe firearms is dex. And she can spend a glamour to have a dex bonus. Because why'sn't? Ooh, oh well. The monster rolled a 10, Maya rolled a 9, and so the monster gets to roll again. So I'm just gonna say she's a pretty good shot. But this monster is surprisingly lithe for a literal industrial machine. And so there is a bang from her blunderbuss, and it just sort of like flex. And she's like, God damn it!
Puts shot down the thing, pumps it frantically. No.
I'll say as a Wizen, she can reload as a free action.
Yeah, no. I was making a joke about the blunderbuss being a muzzle loader.
Yeah. It loads from the back for some reason, because it's a future magic hedge blunderbuss. I guess. Magic! Alright, now we're at the top of the round, and Sister Salvation will stab it some more with a katana. And I will say, for calculating damage, 14... 14, 13... she only manages to hit it for 1 lethal. Okay. And yeah, so she manages to slice off some more legs in her stone cold badass looking way.
There you go.
And Dune, it is now your turn.
Okay. I withdraw the knife because, when I look inside, what do I see?
You see, it is surprisingly low tech. I don't know about surprising. It is relatively low tech. It is gear. It is wires and gears, and even before y'all started punching it in the face, it's got like, between kind of the rusting on its various metal forms and the viscosity of it, it looks like it's oil dripping out of its face, like through its jaws. But the additional rust tinge makes it look almost like a very dark blood.
Okay.
And you see more of that kind of oil stuff that you have sliced through some of its connections, and it seems to be a very not steampunk. What's a diesel punk kind of monster?
Right, but it's dripping oil through the hole I made, correct?
It is also dripping oil through the hole you made.
Cool. I pull out my lighter, flick it, and throw it inside.
Okay. Okay, roll.
What do I roll?
I would
I'm going
say
with-
this. I would. Let me look at your sheet real quick. I dare say this is going to be more of a dex thing.
Next weaponry improvised?
Yes, I will allow that.
Yep. Alright, so that's 4 and 4 is 8. My sheet, the one on the Discord, is not updated. So I have
okay.
the list of updates that I've been referring to, which is why it takes so long right now doing rolls.
Okay,
So.
that's fine. Just, we'll work that out after game.
10. Here we go again. 26.
The monster rolled a 10, so... A 26 is 7 successes. Minus 1. So... You do... Yeah, and fire is always ag.
I was my pick and I threw it in there. That was it.
Well, this is gonna be a lot shorter combat than I was... Okay.
Oh, oil! I know what that is. Flammable!
I set it up. Y'all just knocked it down with a 10 again. Sometimes your player just rolls a 27. When you know, a 20 is excessive success. No.
5 successes.
Yeah, 5 successes is a magic success, and then they roll 27. Okay. So let me calculate the damage table. So it's 6 ag. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, this is like the guy who absorbed metal, and then I'm like, oh, I have a taser.
And all that is filled in.
I still have my
with
taser because it is
ag.
technically a non-lethal weapon.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Well, so Dune, do you want to explain? It's not dead yet, but you just did 6 ag to a giant metal machine. What does it look like?
So, I take a look inside. I'm actually looking for the pilot, but since I don't see that, I'm like, oil. I don't say that out loud, but I'm like, I know that smells.
Fossil fuels.
Fossil fuel. So I reach into trenchcoat space, i.e. my pocket, and pull out my lighter. It's, you know, nothing special. Have it for lighting other people's cigarettes if they so choose. Mostly Klaus's, usually. At least nowadays. Before it was, you know, bar patrons. Give it a flick, and flip it into the hole, and, you know, dive for the ground. Because I know exactly what's going to happen next, which is what happens next, which is the oil ignites with a whoosh and comes out the hole. Like a flamethrower lance kind of thing. And suddenly, you know, we are now battling the caterpillar from hell as its insides ignite. Like the oil that was, you know, you see it kind of judder, smoke starts coming out, and then it opens, next time it opens, it smells like a chomp. The flame kind of, you know, up its throat and into the oil in its mouth. Now it's got on fire in its mouth. And this is just leaking fire out of every joint and moving kind of oddly now because it's smoking heavily. And missing several legs. So that's legs weren't me. Legs were sister, but you know.
So I'm gonna be an asshole. And Maya was trying a ranged weapon, but the rest of you or Klaus, how far away were you from the monster when you whooshed it?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Gonna be honest.
Then you also get to make this check. Alright. Klaus and Masterson and also Salvation will all be making dex saves.
How does one make a dex save?
Against
Good.
basically 6 ag of fire have happened, so actually no, everyone just make your dodge saves, I should say. Roll for dodge.
How much does Mr. Novacourt care about actual fire?
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
Remember, you have all of these plus... Oh, you rolled already.
Yeah. And then I rolled a 10, which explodes, right?
Did you roll the 10 on the dice?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So...
10 again,
I'm
club.
at 20. I'm not getting caught in this.
Oop, other side. Right. Klaus. Fist bump.
I'm guessing I rolled an 11 because I have a dexterity of 2 and rolled a 9.
Okay. So, I rolled for flame damage. So, something fell over and distracted me. Where am I? What
Flame
were we
damage.
even doing?
You rolled
Flame
it.
damage. I rolled it. Okay, and I wrote down the number. Thank you, past Chris, of 30 seconds ago. Alright.
Does my armor help?
Oh, have we established whether armor gives you a bonus to dodge, or does it just soak a certain level of damage? I think it just soaks.
It just
soaks.
soaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then your armor takes, 1 ag worth of fire damage. Cause the number to beat was a 13, and you rolled an 11.
Okay.
We'll say that was 1 ag. And, Klaus, what did you roll?
I ended up with a 20.
Okay, yeah, Klaus is just like... maybe because there's
Nature
still
style
rushing-
avoiding the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe because you're still connected to the mess magically, you just almost felt like the reverb before it happened, you're just like, flex! And... Oh, and unfortunately, Sister Salvation took an ag damage from fire. Because she did deflects, but a little too slow, or the flame shot out a bit more than she was expecting. So she is taken an ag. She's definitely still in the fight, though.
Mistakes were made.
So yeah,
Not necessarily just by me.
So Masterson, you don't take any damage yourself, but your armor has soaked an ag damage. However, that is supposed to work.
It's my mantle.
Oh, it's your mantle? Okay.
Yeah. I have 5 ballistic and 5 conventional armor.
Okay. So can it block ag?
Yes. So
Yeah.
what it does is it converts it to
It converts
Yeah,
into kinetic energy.
well, the ballistic armor takes aggravated damage, converts it to regular damage, which then is soaked by the number in front. Because we found this out the last time after reading through several rule books. It's a slash number, so the first slash is how much it absorbs regularly, and then the second number is how much it converts to regular damage. So.
Oh yes, and one of I think one of our not currently present players said, why would you need to an armor to block 10 damage? And I laugh in Werewolf the Forsaken at them.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm quite happy with my 5/5 that I have going right now without wearing my suit.
Yeah, so I was like, that shouldn't stack, because you shouldn't be able to block 10 damage. I'm like, I laugh in Forsaken GM.
I'm perfectly...
You haven't met any werewolves in combat yet. Anyway, alright, so I tried to hit you all with reverb and only hurt my NPC. Alright.
Yep.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. Klaus, it is your turn. That monster looks pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
But it's still
I think I'm gonna
squeaking and moving along.
I'm gonna start figuring out what I am going to need after the fight's over to heal our NPC friend who just took some damage.
I mean, it looks like, you are in magical Sparkle Land, but it looks like a regular fire burn.
Cool.
So you can, that'll, if you want to make a medicine roll now, like, you can actually,
Sure.
like, you being Klaus and it being the future, and you knowing medicine. Let me look at
I
your.
see a vision of you sniping health into somebody like Anna from Overwatch.
Yeah, I forget. Did you buy up any life magic?
I have one dot.
That's more of diagnosis level.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to, I would allow you to make, if you want to make, intelligence medicine, and yeah, give yourself a bonus to the healing roll. It's like, oh wait, how do I really quickly help heal Ag? Or at least, stabilize Ag, because I think it's like, unless you use magic, you can't really heal it right away.
Mm.
There are certain tools and substances that can cure lethal and bashing really fast, but Ag is sort of meant to be like, this'll stick around. So yeah, do int medicine.
It's a 10.
Altogether, or 10
Yeah.
again? Okay.
Altogether.
So that's one success, so, you can think of, you kind of just go through your personal, cause you used to be in, I think, emergency room. So you've cleaned and wrapped up fire wounds, or fire
Start digging
damage
through
before.
my pockets.
Yeah. But you will have to
Where
wait
did I
until,
put
like...
the aloe vera?
So yeah, you can remember how to do this, it's just you're gonna have to wait until she stops moving.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna be ready for that, because I don't think I can deal any more dramatic damage than Dune just did.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
There we go.
A wolf blood in the hedge. Just don't do it, monsters. Well, I mean, the monster didn't mean to bring a wolf blood into the... He didn't know what was on the other side of that hedge gate. Alright, and now it's the caterpillar's turn, and it is... Since, I believe Sungrazer, or Masterson, is still in range of its jaws, it's going to try and bite you. It's not doing a great job, but it will attempt to bite you. So roll your dodge.
That's my defense roll.
You know what?
Oh, dear.
Don't even roll it.
Oh, no.
The monster rolled a 1.
Oh,
So it botched it. I'm gonna say that it did itself a bashing when it tried to bite you and then smashed its face into the floor and is all extra dented.
really ate shit.
So that was you, monster. Masterson, it's your turn, and the monster is face first on the ground. It's not exactly prone, because it is a giant hulking bunch of burning metal, but it's not really that healthy looking.
I will punch it in the face again.
Yay! Punch it while it's down! I'm just gonna say it doesn't get a dodge at this point.
Okay.
I take one seriously here.
That's not good.
Depends on for who. Did you roll a 1?
No, I
Then-
rolled a 26.
And the reverse evil eye, the Twitch reverse evil eye strikes again. That's 26, that's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, you kill it. Describe to me what it looks like as you punch this thing that's face down and twitching one last gargantuan time.
Oh, I just punch it once, just real quick, and then it just kinetic force just blows through it, and the shockwave just separates everything into parts.
The heat-stressed metal finally, he punches it, and the shockwave travels along the worm, the caterpillar, and as it does, you can see the shockwave just go compression wave through the stupid thing, and rivets are popping out everywhere as they finally give up on the overstressed metal, like ping, 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 and then it hits the end, and in one breathless moment, you're like, are you gonna have to do it again? But then it just does that thing where it just falls apart, blah, 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 like little constituent pieces that are all still on fire.
And then the rest of it just sort of goes.
Yep.
In a metal way.
Looking
As
at
it just gives one last moan.
looking at Dune. Sungrazer's gonna be pissed you set his clothes on fire, as this is his only set of clothing.
One, that sounds like you should have packed better, and two, you should.
No, he only owns one set of clothing.
Then you hadn't ought to have stolen them from him.
And where is he without You know what? We don't want to know. Hashtag changeling life.
You can borrow one of my shirts when he gets back. Sun Grazer is extremely willowy, as I recall, so one of my shirts will probably fit them like a dress.
Floop.
Just belt that shit up and you're good to go.
So yes, chat, I, built a monster with 15 health levels, and he didn't even last 2 rounds of combat.
Oh, we had dumb math. We had spectacular math on our side.
We had some pretty, yeah.
Oh, which I did not explain at the beginning. So we are using a hack job of an NWoD system where this is what we used for first ed NWoD, which will be backwards on the screen because it's Zoom, but fuck it. So yeah, the Blue Book of Mind's Eye Theater. Because in first ed NWoD, it was a lot easier to move tabletop into LARP. And it basically went from the tabletop system where it's you roll dots many dice, it became add all of your dots to a card draw, effectively 1d10 roll. So we use that because it's easier than making my players buy 800,000 d10s in the middle of a pandemic. Which we're not really in the middle of anymore, but now the supply lines are all shot, so it's like, just add it all up. And none of us, I was the closest we had to a White Wolf diehard, and I didn't care. So, if you have problems with this, that's fair. Watch a proper Vampire the Masquerade game or something. There are plenty of them. And you know, they don't get enough love, because if it's not D&D, it doesn't get enough love on this channel, on this website. So yes, go watch more Vampire the Masquerade. They need the fans.
Vampire the Tasquerade.
Vampire the Tasquerade. So yes, with a final this thing just collapses into a pile of, like, curved metal plates and rivets and gears and oil and wires, and
the oil is still burning.
The oil is still burning some, yes. And, Sister Salvation's like, ow! Ow!
My sincerest apologies. I didn't quite realize how far that would travel.
I can help with that.
Yeah, you want to be careful with, like, yeah, fire damage is tough to control. So, oh, thanks. And she's like, yes, please wrap this up. She's like, she resheaths her blade into her back. Okay. And she's like, so that was fun.
Is that the only one of those, or are there more?
Well, that's not the first one we've seen. They're kind of a breed of just wandering monster in the hedge here. And a lot of other kind of, like, diesel punk looking monsters and weird stuff, and I mean, there's just not that many changelings left, so a couple of, you know, there's a couple hollows that have, like, with no one to maintain them, they've just been overwhelmed by the machines.
When Klaus starts wrapping her arm, I reach in and pull out the bottle of moonshine we've been drinking from still and offer it to her.
Oh, thank you. Gulp. Klaus, I will allow the one success you rolled last time to be a +1 on this roll, like a +1 forward. Because you did spend your action doing a brain thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Not that you needed to do any damage that round, because,
yeah, I figured I didn't, so I didn't do it, because it's not really what I'm around here for. Yeah, basically,
so Masterson was last to go. Maya would have been after him, and she was just, like, about to fire, and just like, oh, alright. She has, like, a holster forward on her back, and is like, well, and she just pulls out a broom, and then a kind of weird oversized dustpan, like, cartoonishly big, and just starts, like, oh, she starts with the broom to just sort of get it all into a pile, and she's just, like, doing the what, like a fucking machine, cursing at it all the way. So yeah, roll int medicine to fix the nice pleather lady. +1, or plus any bonus +1s you still have, because you have a pool of 15.
You know, I'll use one of those just cause.
Make sure this goes well.
Yeah. Okay, and basic math, basic math. $13, which is 2 successes.
Arcane the Sage was hoping the blunderbuss would get one last shot. Sorry, dude. Well, I'm sorry, what was the number?
13.
Okay, so that's only 2 successes. I mean, you get her, she's wrapped up, she's stabilized, you know, you've got some spare gauze and bandages and some, like, whatever salve you use to sterilize wounds, because with burns, you don't want it to get infected. And so, yeah, you just, it doesn't really heal the damage, but it is not going to get further infected. And she's like, oh, I see you've done this before.
Technically on the staff as a medic, so, you know, should hope I've done it before. Or am capable of doing it at least.
She's like, you look real familiar. Have I met you before?
No, I just have one of those faces.
Okay. She just sort of lets you wrap her up. She seems remarkably okay with people. Well, I mean, Klaus is very clearly trying to fix the fire damage.
I'm a medic. It's fine.
Clearly this is a professional. So she's like, wow.
I need healing!
So, that was fun. But, yeah.
A most refreshing interlude in this city where they are few and far in between.
I mean, if you want to go hunting through the local hedge for monsters, like, there will be plenty, because there's basically no one upkeeping the hedge anymore.
No, I don't think that will be necessary, unless, of course...
I mean, well, I mean, you're not a changeling, so I wouldn't advise it.
No.
But, yeah.
I hold no fondness for this place, or anything.
I don't like staying in the hedge longer than I have to.
Yeah, it's kind of love-hate relationship, changelings with the hedge, yeah. So, yeah, I guess, so well, you'll call me when you talk to your boss, and we'll work out what we're gonna do, because, yeah, none of us really want to stay here except for the thing we're protecting. If we could get it off-planet without having to, like, hire an army of high weird changelings to go into Arcadia to protect it, because it would take an army of changelings to get through Arcadia and get out the other side. Like, that's a big ask, even for Church of the Weird members.
And nearly impossible, from my understanding. Given that space is odd in the hedge, but space is still space and a very long distance, no matter which way you decide to travel it.
Yeah, it doesn't... The weird does not follow, galactic physics.
No. But traveling several hundred light years is still not... even if you bend it down to simple miles, it's still not a short distance.
Yeah. But I mean, if the Stygian Gates can do it. People have been known to do that through the hedge in Arcadia, but it's just, you know, epic quest bullshit, and it is an incredibly risky move.
Indeed. Might I suggest that we leave this place? I don't think that we will be much help in attempting to clean up whatever the hell that was.
Maya's just continuing to sweep and curse and grumble and be a wizened. Yeah, I've got to get home, so... Okay, so, call me, and she just kind of, she walks back out of the hedge gate and just, like, finds a napkin and, you know, here's my cell number. Well, here's a cell number. 'Cause, yeah, I don't like being traced unless I want to be around here because, you know...
If
Limos
they're following
system.
you, they're not following you motley.
Yep. So yeah, give me a call when you work things out with your boss, and we'll talk. And, I mean, like I said, like, we were prepared to stay here if we had to, so it's... I don't know, like... Limos government can suck my dick, but, I mean, they are mounting up to be a bigger problem. So, we can hold out here as long as anyone else, because there's also thousands of changelings on Dysnomia who have made the stupid choice of staying in system. So, but yeah, keep us posted. We have, there's also Church of the Weird folks over there, but it's really hard communicating with them without getting caught. So we haven't really been able to vibe with them much over Starnet. But yeah, so just, yeah, call us, keep me posted, and we'll talk.
A sound plan.
A very vague plan, but shit's strange right now.
It'll do the
It's
job.
a sounder plan than any we had this morning.
So, say that again?
It's a more sound plan than any plan we happen to have this morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a plan. You hadn't even met me yet, so, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Alright, I'll see you later. I guess we'll meet here the next time we see each other. I mean, unless you want to show me your ship, but I think that's your boss's call.
That is indeed.
But yeah, I'll see you around. We'll fight some more monsters. It'll be fun. And she just kind of traipses off.
I turned to not Sungrazer. What are the odds that her presence there drew the monster to the hollow we were near?
Oh, at best.
It's simply that her attitude of saying that the next time we meet her, we will fight more monsters seems to suggest that they follow her around or something. I don't know. The hedge is not my purview.
I think
No,
she just likes picking fights with monsters.
this place is going to be lousy with monsters just because of the lack of changelings to maintain the hedge. So hedge beasts are going to run wild. I would imagine that they're probably bothering places like this all over the city.
Do we need to keep an eye on our hollow? Or do you think the dragon will keep them out?
I think the dragon will do its very best, but our hollow is not connected to the city very well, as it's a separate space. I would imagine that its current defenses are keeping it safe from anything that's trying to get in, as it is a separate piece that moves. I've never seen a mobile hollow before.
Okay, so no doubt y'all, Masterson and Sungrazer have actually investigated the hollow since you've been on planet.
Yes.
So it's a bit like any time you go through a hedge gate and are in the near hedge, where you go through the hedge gate in the ship, and it's like another spaceship. Just now that you've put the XP into it, it is a much, much bigger ship.
Yeah.
But it's still got that same weird, like, there are vines and trees and plant life, but it's also... So it's like a giant football field in a spaceship? So almost like being on the Enterprise, but it's all agrarian and there's no walls, or there's sometimes walls. It's a weird, very abstract, wacky place.
It's Sungrazer's problem is I think he's the changeling who's keeping an eye on it.
So, alright. Well, I would say that they would have mentioned,
Okay.
So there are basically hedge gates that go into the local hedge. Like,
Yeah.
You walk out of a spaceship onto the planet.
Mm-hmm.
When you're traveling through space, they just sort of don't open. They're like, nope, this is an airlock. It just looks like a tree. Fuck you, this is a tree airlock. Kind of weirdness. you know, that door in the tree like in Nightmare Before Christmas, just does not open or isn't there when you're in space. Now that you're on planet, there are doors there.
So what you're saying is that in space, they become contrarian. No? Okay. Contrary.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, okay.
I fucked up the joke, but whatever.
It's good. You
It
tried.
was an attempt.
You tried. It's fine. But yeah, so yeah, your hedge space might be in danger from the local hedge, in as much as, like, people trying to break into your ship. But,
Yeah.
I think
think
Petruchio
fundraiser
puts so
was-
much into security on the
Yeah.
ship and I think I said that stacks, like, we'll work it all out.
Yeah.
You know, in case I want something to eat your ship. We'll burn that bridge when we cross it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the important part.
As you've also noticed here that what happens in the hedge, like, there was physical damage to the mundane side of the bar when there was attacking going on the other side, so hedge and mundane world are a little close here for some reason, or just that's a little unfortunate
That's
and
atypical.
worrisome. What?
That is atypical.
Every system has its weird foibles.
Yeah.
You know, Eden has its own foibles, and people usually attribute that to there being so many changelings there, whether it's chicken or egg, no one's sure. Here, it could be similar. There are almost no changelings here. No one is watching the hedge. Oh noes. On an entire planet.
The Gauntlet's gonna do something similar when the werewolves leave.
You don't know. You would know without rolling that the ongoing mission of all werewolves is to protect the herd from the spirit world. And if there are no wolves on this planet, no one's doing that, that is bad. Just because werewolves aren't here doesn't mean spirits can't come through the gauntlet.
We've evacuated somebody from the core world where that was true.
Yeah.
This little candy floss.
Yep. Melt! Yep. That was fun. For me. And, yeah. See episode 2 or 3? I don't know, it was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
So yes. And I think it is 10 p.m. now, so I wrote just enough plot. Actually, I probably wrote too much since that monster had 15 health levels. But then two people 20-something, and...
It worked out.
You know.
It's fine. But yeah, chat, so that is tonight's game of Exit to Eden, or Eden Adjacent, as they are in Limos system, founded by space Argonauts rather than space Vikings. And they fought a monster, and they made a friend!
Ish and ish. Well, no, we definitely fought the monster.
You
But the
definitely...
friend, we'll see.
She's so nice, though. And, yeah, so I've been the storyteller / GM this whole time. And, let's go clockwise again this time, so then I can go hunt for someone to raid instead of having to prompt people to talk. So, Klaus, who are you when you are not a former professional medic and one of those faces?
I'm Drakus. I've been playing Klaus. Can find me on most social media, particularly Instagram and Discord, as actual Drakus, just like I am in chat here. That's about it. I don't really have anything else going on outside of this, so.
Clockwise next.
Who is that? Is that me?
That's you.
As you...
You.
I am playing Masterson. I am Zardoz most of the time. I am at Once and Future Doctor on Twitter. You can find me there.
I'm Merc. I was playing Dune, the Wolfblood. Currently Derek Prosser. I'm mostly on Discord as Merkworky. I'm in a couple other places, but it doesn't matter because I don't do anything on there. My only plug is watch the Reliables on the Zombie Orpheus Twitch channel this Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. It is the season finale. That's cowboys in the Weird West, so there's magic as well. Magic and ghost rock and rattlers, oh my. Once that is up, there will likely be a poll on the Reliables Twitter to see where they are going next. So if you would like to come and join in, join the fun, come see, and then vote.
Okay, that reminds me. So we are now on an every other week schedule where Exit to Eden is every other week, so I don't burn the fuck out. And next week, and most weeks, as default, we're going to run Demon Hunters, Comedy of Terrors, which is another game Zoe wrote. But next week, we are going to run Zardoz will be running the game he wrote.
Yes,
So do you want to tell us?
We Are All Children, which is a game of young people confronting existential crises in a surreal landscape. It's going to get spooky, and it's going to get weird.
I like weird.
An existential crisis with bangs. Got it.
Mm-hmm. And the week after that will be Exit to Eden again. And the week after that might be Fat Magic. Because or at some point in the next 2 weeks, we will be running we will have a guest GM who will run Fat Magic for us.
And that is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting book thingamajig.
Yes, it is currently being kickstarted. It is a 5e supplement about magic that is all about food and classes that are all about food. And I was a little worried and skeptical when I heard about it, but looking at the art, it's all very, let's say, size inclusive. So there are actual fat people doing fat magic, and I am good with this. But also skinny people doing food magic, because weight isn't actually based on diet, and science seems to be proving this however much people want to ignore it. So it is very fun, size-inclusive art, which makes my fat ass happy, and the brain above the fat ass. Anyway, we are going to raid DJ Dirge for some nice goth tunes. And yeah, so chat, thanks for hanging out with us tonight in our weird sci-fi world of darkness with weird diesel punk monsters. And take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you here next week for We Are All Children. So, bye!